Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking in each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view, this relationship? Okay. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. So we do have the Five of Swords, we do have the Eight of Swords, and then we also have the Three of Pentacles out here. You could be connecting with an Aquarius, possibly a Gemini, maybe even a Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but let's really break this down, Virgo. So it kind of looks like you're trying your hardest to make a dynamic work between you and whoever it is that you currently find yourself romantically involved with. But with the Five of Swords to the Eight of Swords coming out here, and we have the Queen of Cups here at the bottom of the deck, that's kind of telling me that you're experiencing the only inner conflict right now, because your mind is telling you, like, don't try to fix things with them. Don't try to repair things with them. Like, don't even bother with them. But your heart's like, come on, we got to make this work. We got to make this work. We got to make this work. So it just kind of looks like right now you're experiencing a battle between what your mind wants you to do versus what your heart wants you to essentially do. I feel like this person has given you many reasons to get up and walk away, but I also feel like this person has given you many reasons to stay. So then that's like a whole nother like bag of burritos that I'm kind of getting here for this connection, because even though, yeah, they do give you many reasons to get up and walk away, they also give you many reasons to stay. So that's kind of creating that inner conflict within you. But this whole, like, your mind telling you one thing versus your heart telling you a whole nother thing, that's also creating some tension and conflict, I would say, within you. Okay, let's look at this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. How does this person currently view this relationship with Virgo? All right, so we do have the Two of Wands, we have the Judgment card, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. Okay. In regards to how this person is currently viewing this relationship with you, this person comes off to me as somebody who's like very, very indecisive when it comes down to, like, you know, whether or not they do want to continue to try to make this dynamic between the two of you work or not. It's like a part of them is like, I don't really want to do this, Virgo. And then there's that other part of them that's like, well, it wouldn't hurt to like try one more time. Like, this person's like contemplating, like, should I keep fighting for this or should I just give up now? And it kind of looks like right now they don't really know what the heck to do. Okay, fair enough. Let's jump back over to you, Virgo. How does Virgo currently feel due to them being indecisive on whether or not they do want to continue to proceed forward within this dynamic that they share with you or not? It does have you feeling extremely rejected by this person. It does have you essentially feeling like they just don't care about you or this dynamic that the two of you, you know, share with one another anymore. And it does, like I said, it does cause you to feel extremely rejected by this person. It does cause you to feel like they just don't love you or care about you, or this relationship that they share with you anymore. With the King of Cups to the Six of Cups, you know, you kind of feel like you're the only one that really cares about this dynamic that the two of you essentially share, you know, with one another. You're the only one that's willing to do whatever it takes to make this dynamic work. And the fact that you're connecting with somebody who's not trying to lift a finger to try to fix or repair this, you know, it does kind of have you feeling like you're the only one that really does care about this dynamic that you guys share with one another. Okay, how does this person currently feel? We have the Five of Wands. We have the Lovers out here. And then we also have the Ten of Wands. Okay. Okay. Now, here's what I will say. Does this person still have that fight within them to keep fighting, to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat? Yes, they definitely do. However, We don't really see them fighting to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat, and here's why. Because this person essentially feels like they're just going to keep going through the same thing over and over and over again. So in their head, you know, they just don't get what's the point in them continuing to fight to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat if they're just going to continue to experience the same old, same old. Like, to them, that just doesn't make any sort of like logical sense. This person comes off to me as somebody who's like very, very like cerebral. So you could be dealing with another Virgo, or this might even be you, Virgo, to the right of me, or you could be dealing with like an air sign strongly, so like a Gemini, Libra, possibly an Aquarius. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case, or a Capricorn, but yeah, this person's very, very cerebral. Like, they're very, very cerebral. So yeah, to them, it just doesn't really make logical sense why they should continue to fight to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat if they're just going to experience the same old time and time again. Like, to them, it's like, it makes no sense. To them, you know, it's just, what's the point? You know, that's how they're looking at this entire situation. But do they still kind of have that fight within them? Yes. They definitely do. But the best way that I could describe this person, because I'm actually kind of getting the Ace of Wands all of a sudden with this person. You know, in another tarot deck, they have like the Ace of Wands, but the Ace of Wands is on fire. Yeah, the Ace of Wands is on fire, and I'm kind of getting that with this person. You know, the Ace of Wands, it speaks of our own personal wants and desires, right? So with that being said, I just kind of feel like when it comes down to this person's like wants and desires, when it comes down to you and this dynamic that they share with you, Virgo, I feel like that flame, because I keep getting like the Ace of Wands, but with the Ace of Wands that has like the flame on it. I know that there's like a tarot deck that has like the Ace of Wands with like flame on it, but it's like the flame is like slowly but surely going out. You know what I mean? It's like, that's kind of what I'm getting. In other words, the desire to like fix this is like starting to like dissipate. The desire to keep fighting for this is starting to kind of dissipate, and you might find yourself feeling the exact same way. And if you do, Virgo, I just kind of feel like it's one of those things where it's like they give you reasons to not continue to want to fight for this, and you may give them reasons to not want to continue to fight for this. So like the flame might be going out here, you know what I mean? It might be going out here, you know what I mean? It's a possibility, but I guess we'll see how this all plays out nonetheless. But what actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? You know, okay. So in regards to how you plan on moving forward, Virgo, you basically feel like a conversation between the two of you can totally change everything in this entire situation. Hence why you're trying your hardest to just have a, you know, conversation with this person, because you feel like a conversation would totally change everything here between you and this person and just improve everything, right? Between you and this person. But the problem is that you're dealing with somebody who doesn't think that a conversation is what's going to change absolutely everything between you and this person. Because you feel like, well, if we were to just talk it out, you know what I mean, and get like an understanding here, you know, everything will be good, everything will be great, you know what I mean? But you're dealing with somebody who basically feels the complete opposite. They don't feel like a conversation is going to improve things between the two of you and or change things, you know, between the two of you. But I am definitely getting that this person is still kind of feeling torn nonetheless. And it kind of looks like the reason why they're feeling torn is because, and it's because of a variety of different things is kind of what I'm getting. It has a lot to do with the time that they invested into you and this dynamic that they share with you. Like, they want this time that they invested into you and this relationship that they share with you to essentially count for something. Like, they don't want to look back at this relationship and be like, damn, like I wasted 7 years out of my life, or I wasted a year out of my life, or whatever. Like, they just don't want to look back at this and feel like they wasted, you know, their time. Even though this dynamic is causing them to feel like they wasted their time due to everything that they're going through with you, and you might even find yourself feeling the exact same way. But it has a lot to do with that. It also has a lot to do with them not wanting to experience another failed marriage or another failed relationship. So it has a lot to do with that as well. It also has, you know, it also has a lot to do with, like, honestly, like the level of the unknown, you know, not knowing what their life is going to look like and or consist of, you know, without you in it. So that's another thing that's kind of keeping this person torn, you know, like even though this person may not want to walk away because of the amount of time they invested into you and this dynamic that they share with you, they kind of feel like to a certain extent, maybe that's something that they should do. You know what I mean? You know, things like that. But right now, like I said, they're just very, very indecisive. It's kind of hard to tell what this person's going to do because they themselves don't even know what they're going to do. What actions will this person take towards Virgo or moving forward? So we do have the Nine of Swords, we do have the Emperor, and then we also have the Four of Pentacles. So in regards to how this person plans on moving forward, this person basically feels like they've been putting what's best for them on the back burner for quite some time now because of, you know, you and, you know, what they can see themselves having with you and what they really want to build and establish, you know, with you, which is basically a life with you. But this person feels like in doing so, right, by them focusing on you and their relationship with you, they feel like they've been putting themselves on the back burner. They feel like they've been putting their goals on the back burner. They feel like they've been putting these things that they want to manifest into fruition for themselves on the back burner. Like they just kind of feel like they haven't been choosing themselves this whole entire time because they've been so attached to you and what they want with you and what they see themselves having with you, you know, things of that nature. But even though this person feels like, damn, like maybe I should start, you know, choosing myself and doing what's best for me, you know what I mean? It's a hard decision for this person to make because it would require this person to get up and walk away from you, and we could already tell they're torn about that, and it would require this person to detach themselves to you and what they saw themselves essentially having with you, which that appears to me as a, you know, very challenging and difficult thing for this person to do, you know, things of that nature. It just kind of looks like this person's gonna need some time to like really figure out like where they want to essentially be here, because right now this person is kind of giving me, you know, yeah, this person right now, they're kind of giving me the impression that they don't really know whether to go left or to go right. You know, it's like a part of them wants to continue to make this work for the reasons why I already basically mentioned, but then there's that other part of them that just kind of feels like there is no point of them continuing to try to make this dynamic between the two of you work, and it's just time for them to choose themselves and do what's best for them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of in the air right now. I mean, this could go either which way, to be completely honest. But if it's one thing that I will say is that, you know, they do feel like that as far as you guys having a conversation with one another is concerned, they don't feel like it's going to make a difference. And I think that the main reason why they feel like a conversation about everything that's going on between the two of you isn't going to essentially make a difference is because maybe they've had many conversations, you know what I mean, with you in the past, and it hasn't made a difference. Or maybe you've had many conversations with them in the past and it hasn't made a difference. You see what I mean? Like, that's definitely a possibility, but it just kind of looks like this person is not going to give you like a clear-cut answer when it comes down to what they want to do moving forward, because they personally don't even know what they want to do moving forward, Virgo. All right, so with that being said, it kind of looks like it's going to take some time before you receive a final answer from this person, but you eventually will. And the likelihood of them still sticking around, I would say it's at a good 85% chance of them sticking around. I would say a good 85% chance. All right, so that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.